Welcome to Nyambung, a program to get you clicked and connect.
Actually, I want to ask something within it. You said that the developed countries is obliged to minimize its emission, right? But
Yes.
actually, what's very interesting for me is the fact that U.S. actually withdrew from the Paris Agreement during the Trump administration in 2017 to 2021. It's really absurd because the US is actually one of the countries that contribute most to the global emission, right, Budina? So I'm curious on, is there a sanction on the countries that are like this, that want to withdraw halfway, that is suddenly doesn't want to follow the agreement?
Unfortunately, at the international level, things like this do happen. And when it happens, basically, sanctions will come as social sanctions instead of something that can, that can suffer you at the national level or some sort, or punish you or give penalty. That doesn't exist. So it's basically just social sanction. And what we have witnessed has unfortunately quite minimal pressure to the US. And inside of the US, there has been changes of views, right? From Al Gore and the overall Democratic Party of the 2000s, who was very concerned about climate change. Nowadays, the political parties in the US basically shifts away from that commitments. The United States are among those who remains fossil based on its energy source. And of course it's very challenging. That's the problem across the world actually. Shifting to renewable energy requires strong commitment, and there will be domestic challenges. There will be negative reactions also from people, and the fossil-based producers are strong political pressure groups. So as you can imagine, the decisions of the U.S. President Donald Trump to withdraw from UNFCCC must have been, the reason of convenience on his side.
Yeah.
It's much more easy to leave UNFCCC rather than to commit to it. But of course, we can talk about the other side of the story, Nadila. It's not just the U.S. Having difficulty to commit to this UNFCCC, to this agreement, yeah. So China also play its position as developing country rather than developed countries, where in reality, of course, since 2000, the year 2000s, the economy of China continued to rise, and it becomes so big. It's a giant, not only in the region of Asia but also in the world. But China managed to continue saying that it's a developing country. So again, this is the big task that UK has to deal with at this point. How to make all these countries come back to the commitment and contribute more tangibly to the aspect of improving climate change agreement.
Yeah, I agree. Sadly, we cannot talk about climate change without also talking about the political and economic of these countries. Yeah. And of course, as we know, this year's COP will be held in the UK. I'm curious, Budina, what is the UK actually stand in the climate change? Because they will be the chair of the COP in this year, right?
Well, if we believe what the UK is campaigning through its social media and also websites, we can see that the current administration of Boris Johnson is really trying to show that UK is leading on the green industrial revolution. The administration is actually showing some points of UK's commitment to make sure that job creation would align with climate change targets. So it says it's going to push the end to coal, the use of coal power, phasing out the use of polluting vehicles, making agriculture more sustainable, handling deforestation, supporting developing countries with finance and all. So the question in my mind, however, is how can UK influence other countries to follow its path, especially the developed countries, yeah? Because at the practical level, one can say commitments on paper, but in reality, it will require a massive change of the existing practices. I mean, I cannot imagine how, for instance, the UK can influence the US. Yeah, of course, we have to acknowledge at this point, US already appoint a special envoy
Yeah.
for climate change. His
And
Excellency
China
John
too, right,
Kerry,
Budina?
and China too, right?
Yeah.
Appoint a special envoy.
Fortunately, those two countries.
Xi Jinping. So, and they are said to be meeting to prepare this UK meeting. But the critical thing that we have to watch is how these countries shift the use of fossil-based energy at home to renewable energy. Because nothing can be set further unless there are tangible shifts at home. So, which means, how are these factories? Are they going to continue using coal? Are they going to continue importing coal from Australia, from Indonesia, from Russia? These are rich fossil-based countries. Are they going to continue doing that, or they're literally going to produce more renewable energy? The second question is, if they successfully demonstrate that, how would they make sure their partners, their economic partners, their trading partners, their investment partners would be able to access the renewable energy?
Yeah.
Why I say so? Because renewable energy at this point appears so much as a competition of products, selling products. You can buy technology of solar panel from country A, and then for transforming biomass or trash to energy from this country, you have to buy it, basically. Rather than sharing it, you have to buy. So the question is, how can you make sure that the technology is affordable, so it's not treated as commodity that the developing countries must acquire by buying and create burdens for the developing countries? Would you share the technology that you have developed with other countries, or would you rather keep it to yourself and create a sense of competition with other countries, which is counterintuitive to the principle of sharing and working together that UNFCCC is mandating? I think that was my biggest concern, Adila.
Yeah, of course. It all again comes back to the economics and the politics. Why? Why? I'm curious.
Well, that's the world. Anyway, but inside of some developing countries, we start seeing how there has been more and more talks about renewable energy, right? And People are talking about green business, making energy more efficient in offices, making electric vehicles. So the question is, for developing countries, it's a question of price.
Yeah.
Such shift means price, means money, and how much will the consumer have to bear for that? Let's just take the example of shifting your car, Nadila, into electric car.
Yeah.
Would you do that? What would be your consideration for not doing so?
In Indonesia, in Jakarta.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God. I can go on and on and on for hours maybe. Why not? Because, the main thing for me is the traffic jam. The
Right.
traffic jam in Jakarta is so it's bad. And can you imagine if you wanted to go vacation with your family to Curug, maybe to Bogor?
For distance far away,
Yeah, the far away and the road.
the
I
trail
think it's
is not
yeah,
bad. It's not good.
It's not
Right.
good for electric
Electricity
cars.
car. Right. You would think about distance. You would think about the road conditions. You would think about how accessible outlets to charge your car, right?
Yeah.
If you happen to be in the middle of forest somewhere, or highways that's so long and no doors until until miles away.
Yeah.
What will happen if suddenly your car is out of electricity, right? So I think it's a valid point, and I think this is homework for the world to think about what can be done.
Yeah, of course, I agree with you.